Welcome children. 11th Commerce Unit 2 Form of Business Organization Chapter 6 Joint Stock Company. So today we are going to start a new chapter. So in this lesson you are going to learn the meaning of joint stock company, characteristics, advantage, disadvantage of joint stock company, the type of companies, the memorandum of association, articles of association and the prospectus and its content. These are all the things we are going to learn in this chapter. So, meaning and definition of company. Before in last chapter 5 and chapter 4, we learned partnership and sole trading business. What is sole trading business and partnership? Sole trading is a single person. He run his business. He contributed his own capital. He started business with his skill and ability. Okay, so single person cannot provide that much capital and ability for running a large size of business. So because of that limitation, we need partnership. Okay, the partnership partnership is ours because of the limitation of sole trading business. So after partnership also having some limitations because for example maximum and maximum number of partnership firms is 20 in case of banking, 10 in case of banking, 20 in case of other banking business. So only these amount of partners only they can start the business. So here also so many drawbacks is there because even the capital, even we can't able to raise more capital from the partners, and if you want to start a large type of business in the same, we need a huge amount of capital because nowadays the population is growing very fast. In order to satisfy the human needs and wants, we need to produce a large amount of product to the consumer. Okay, so if you want to start a large type of organization, if you want to start a industry, we need a huge amount of capital. Okay, you need a huge amount of capital. So because of modern time and not only that, even limited liabilities, unlimited liabilities also in the one of the limitation in partnership firm. So sometimes they have to may lose their personal property also when the business debt is not sufficient to repay in the sense, then the creditor can claim his personal property. So these are all some drawbacks in the sole partnership and sole trading concern. So in order to want to produce a more number of product, we need a huge amount of capital. It's not easy to form a such a type of business. Okay, for that reason the joint stock company come into existence. Okay, that is the meaning of joint stock company. Joint stock company in Indian government India are governed by the Companies Act 2030. So in earlier Companies Act is 1956, but after 2000 during 2013 they create a new law. The act come into force 12 September 2013 with a few changes compared to earlier act 1956. Okay, minimum maximum member in those period 50, but nowadays it become a 200. So these are all some major changes they have made in the new Companies Act. So if the person want to start and run a huge large scale business, he start a business under Companies Act 1956. It's a nowadays is a 2013. Okay, then definition is the exact meaning of particular thing. Definition: a company is association of many persons who contribute money or money worth to a common stock and employed it some trader or business and who share the profit and loss arising from therefrom. So how it's creating in the sense, company it's an association of many persons, many individuals are gathered to contribute the money or money worth. Money in the sense in cash they have to provide some capital, or in kind some stocks and other things they have to provide it to start a business. So they're ready to share the profit and losses. So that form of business is called a joint stock company. So this is a definition of James Stephenson. One more definition also they are given. A company is an artificial person created by law having a separate entity with a perpetual succession and common seal. Company is created by law. Through the law only we have to create it. If you take even partnership also having an act, Partnership Act 1932, but in partnership registration is not compulsory. Okay, registration is only optional. Agreement is essential, but registration is not compulsory. Either if you wish, you can register your firm. If you are not wish, then you can not compelled to register your firm. But joint stock company is an artificial person. Artificial person means we are creating some person because like a human being. Okay, we have a names and other things. Likewise, we have to create a company. We are giving some name to the company and we are giving some right to the company. Okay, so company is artificial person created by law. The human being only started the company. So they are starting with the provision of law. Okay, they have a perpetual succession. So member may come and go, but company go forever. So for example, even in partnership, if sometimes they may dissolve the firm. So various reason is there. If the partner retired, then they dissolve the firm. If the partner death, it will affect the business. And sometimes if they face a loss in the sense they can dissolve the firm. So these are all the things will cause to dissolve the firm. But in case of company is artificial person created by law. They have a perpetual succession, long life. Okay, so member may come and go. So for example, if 5 board member is there in a company, if 5 members are go out from the company, in sense remaining not a 5%, so 15% in the company. So 5% are decided to sell the shares and they just want to go from the company instance. That will not affect the company because member may come and go, but if these things will not affect the company. So that was they called a perpetual succession. And common seal, they have a separate common seal. Company have a common seal. So this is the definition given by Section 2 Companies Act 2013. So characteristics, now we are going to say the characteristics, features of joint stock company. What are the features of joint stock company? I already told you. Features means certain features. So if all these things is there, then only we can call it as a joint stock company. First one is a separate legal entity. Second one, limited liability. Third one, perpetual succession. Fourth one, separate property. And fifth one, transferability of shares. 6 1, common seal. 7 1, capacity to sue and being sued. And 8 1, separate management. 9th one share, 1 vote. So we have 9 characteristics. So first we are going to see the separate legal entity. First one is separate legal entity. Under incorporation, a company becomes a separate legal entity as compared to its member. The company is distinct and different from the member. Under incorporation, a company. Incorporation means it is a legal process used to form a corporate entity or company. So incorporation means under the legal provision. So I already explain in definition, company is an artificial person created by law. Through the law only we have to create the company. So it is the incorporation is a legal process used to form a corporate entity or a company is called a incorporation. So it once if it is incorporated, it is legally proceed, legally formed, it become a incorporate company. So it compared to its member, the company is distinct and different from the member. Okay, separate legal entity. There is a separate legal entity. Company is always separate from his owner. Okay, some company always separate from its owner. Company is a It has own seal and it has own name. Company have a separate name. They have separate name and have a common seal. Okay. In short, it considers an artificial person created by law. So it is an artificial company is an artificial person created by law. So it always separate from its member. It has own seal and own name. So the asset and liability are separate and distinct from those of its member. So asset and liabilities are belong to the company only, not to the member. So it's short considers an artificial person created by law. Company is a artificial person. So it like a human being. Okay. So because it has own name, seal. So its asset and liabilities are separate and distinct from those of its member, because all the company's assets and liabilities belong to the company only, not a individual person or any other member. So this is called a separate legal entity. And limited liability. Limited liability, the liability of member of company is limited to contribution to the asset of company up to the face value of share held by him. A member is liable to pay only the uncalled amount due on shares held by him. If the assets of the company are not sufficient to pay liability, the personal property of the shareholder are not held responsible. That means the liability of member of the company. So in partnership firm, if the asset of the company is not sufficient to repay the debt amount to the creditor, the personal property of partners may lose. So this is the unlimited liability. Limited liabilities means, first, before I am going to explain the limited liability, I just want to share the share. What is share? Share is how the joint stock company started, in the sense they have to collected the capital from the public. Okay, so the capital of the company is divided into small unit. Okay, that unit is called a share. These shares are sold to the public. Those who bought the shares, they become a shareholder of the company. Shareholder are the real owner of the company. So those who are having a high number of shares, they become a board of director. They only control over the affair of the business. Okay, so how can they sell the share? In the sense, the capital of company divided into small unit. I told you. For example, per share value is 10 rupees. Per share value is 10 rupees. Okay. So the company decided to raise the capital. So the company raised the capital through the share market. So they raise the capital, 1 lakh capital. So these 1 lakh capital are divided into small unit. For example, 10,000 unit of they divided this 1 lakh into 10,000 shares. Okay. Each share value is 10 rupees. 10,000 into 10, you are getting a 1 lakh rupees from the public. Okay, so the capital of company divided into small unit. So they are issuing they issue the shares to the public. 10,000 shares they are issuing to the public. Okay, each share value is 10 rupees. Okay, all the 10 rupees immediately they are not collected from the investor. Okay, those who are investor, those who are buying the share, that person is called a shareholder. Okay, so that person is called a investor. Those who are invest money in a particular company, that person is called an investor. So the company does not receive the 10 rupees on the same time. Okay, immediately they are not receive all the money from the shareholder. Okay, part amount only they are collecting from the public. For example, that per share value is 10 rupees. Okay, this value of per share divided into small unit. For example, application 2 rupees, allotment 3 rupees, and first call, second call, third call. So maximum call of company is 3 call. Call means not a phone call. It like a official letter they send to the investor to repay the to pay the share value. Okay, so likewise the company collect the amount from they collect the capital from the public. Okay, first application money they receive, then allotment money. After allotment, first call they send a first call to the investor, then they pay the first call amount likewise. So for example, I purchase a one share. Per share value is 10 rupees. Okay, so first I pay 2 rupees for application and 5 rupees for allotment. So totally 7 rupees I paid. Okay, remaining 3 rupees is unpaid. So that is called a uncalled money. Okay, so still the company not yet called me and pay the amount. So that is called a uncalled money. If I once paid all the amount, I don't have any other liability on the company. Otherwise, if I am not pay the uncalled money, 3 rupees in the sense that 3 rupees is a liability. That is a liable. That amount only I am a liable person to pay to the company. Here, unlimited liability, the member of the company, they are not lose, that shareholder of the company, they are not responsible to repay the personal property of the company's liability. Okay, if the asset of the company are not sufficient to repay the liability, the personal property of shareholder are not held responsible to repay the debt amount. So that is a limited liability. Then perpetual cessation. Perpetual cessation means long life. Company does not cases to exit unless a specifically wind up or task for which form has been completed. So company is a perpetual cessation, long life. So anything happen to the members or other things will not affect the company. So member may come and go, but company go forever. So member they can change every year or 5 years once the member may change, but the company go forever. If you want to wind up the company through the legal formality only, you have to wind up the company. Okay, so you must be for created, so it is created by law only. So if you want to wind up your company, so through the legal procedure only you have to wind up your company. So perpetual cessation is a long life. Company has a long life, so member may come and go, but the company go forever. So that is a perpetual cessation. Then separate property. Company is a distinct legal entity. A member cannot claim to be a owner of the company's property. So even they contribute a capital, there is always diversity between the owner and the company. That means the shareholders and the company. So the owner of the company cannot claim the ownership of the property of the company. So they can use the company property for company use only, not for their personal property. Even out of the profit, they are getting a salary only. The shareholders and member, they are getting a salary. They are receiving a salary from the organization. Okay, so during the wind up time only, they have to receive the after selling all these things, if remaining amount, if any, that amount only they have to taken by the shareholders. Okay, so they don't have any other they can't be able to claim the ownership of the property of the company. They can only use this property for business purpose only. So that is the thing. Then transferability of share in company are freely transferable. So if you want to sell your share, you can sell. If you want to transfer one person to another person, you can easily transfer from one person to another person. So if it is a government security, freely you can transfer one person to another person. Whenever you want to sell, you can sell. But in case of private limited company, there is a restriction is there. So some restriction over the transfer of liability of transfer the share of other person in the case of private limited company. So there is a restriction in the private limited company to share transfer the share or sell the share. Okay, then common seal. Common seal is the official seal of company. Company is an artificial person created by law, so it does not have a physical presence. It acts through the board of directors for carrying out business activities, and the board of directors only enter the agreement, and they only put a contract between company to company and other thing. Okay, during that time, even the board of director running the business, they only control on affair of the business. if you put a signature, if the board of directors put their signature, it is not a valid contract. When you have to put an official seal of the company, it become a valid contract. So common seal is nothing but it is a seal of the company. Common seal, also called a company seal or corporate seal. It is physical illustration embossed with company name and business number of association and business. Common seal was historically used to seal contract. If you sign any contract, you have to use this seal. And any deed, if you are creating any deed, then you have to, the company use the seal. And share certificate, these are all the things they are used to make them valid. So that is a common seal. Capacity to sue and being sued. Company is a different legal entity. Company is a different legal entity. It has a legal rights and legal liability like any other natural person. Okay. One such a right is that company can be sued and can be sued its name. Okay. The company has right, can sue and can be sued in its own name. A company can file case against some other person. Company only can file a case against some other person or some other company. Okay. And also a case can be filed by someone other person against the company only. Okay. All such a litigation, suits, petition have to be in the name of the company only. Okay. So that is the capacity to sue and being sued. So on behalf, so company only, you have to take a legal action against the company only, not the individual person. That is the main thing. Then separate management, a company administered and managed by its managerial person, that is the board of directors. Board of directors are elected by the members, other shareholders. Shareholders are the real owner of the company. Those who buy the share, they become a shareholder of the company. Among the shareholders, those who are having a high number of shares, they become a board of directors. Other members are elected this board of directors through the consecutive meeting. The shareholders are simply the holder of the share. Okay, they are the holder of the share and not necessarily the manager of the company. All the shareholders, they have some special rights and liabilities, but sometimes some manager, they can manage the business of the affair, but it is not needed the manager hold the share. Okay, the person who hold the share, they become a shareholder of the company. The shareholder become a board of director of the company. Okay, so that is a separate management is separate and board of directors is separate. The board of directors only appoint the manager. Okay, those who are having a high qualified things, then based on that experience and other thing, they have to appoint the manager. So manager and shareholders are different part. Okay, so need not necessarily the manager of the company act as a shareholder. Okay, that is a separate management. Management is separate and shareholder and board of directors is separate form. Okay, then one share one vote principle of voting of company. One share one vote, that is if a person has a 10 share, he has a 10 vote in the company. Okay, this is a direct distinct to the voting principle of cooperative society. Normally cooperative society, one member one vote. Even general election, we have to put a only one person, we have to put a one vote only. But in case of joint stock company, they conduct any voting for choose any other members, or likewise if they are doing in the sense those who are having a, for example, if the person hold a 15 shares in the sense, he has a 15 voting right. Okay, so company, joint stock company, one share one vote principle is followed in joint stock company. Okay, if you are the person holding a 10 share, then he has a 10 vote. Okay, that is a one share one vote. So this principle is followed in the joint stock company, but in cooperative society they follow one man one vote. Okay, so here one share one vote. If you hold a 10 share, then you have a 10 vote. If person hold a 20 share, then he has a 20 vote. So based on the shares they held, based on the share they held, that much they have a right. Okay, that is a one share one vote principles followed in joint stock company. Then